Hello everybody, my name is Brianna Bilo. I'm a meteorologist here with the National Weather Service office in Grand Junction, Colorado, and this is your August 2025 monthly weather summary. So starting off for our story of the month, we have fire and flood. The month of August started off hot and dry, really a continuation of what we saw in July, and what we saw in July was the development of quite a few wildfires, and in August, this continued, particularly with the development of the Lee fire as well as the Elk RBX fire around the town of Meeker early on in the month. And the Lee fire actually became one of the biggest fires that we've had on the West Slope. It's not the biggest still, that prize still goes to the Pine Gulch fire back in 2020, but it came pretty close at a little over 137,000 acres. The Lee fire was only about 2,000 acres off of the size of the Pine Gulch fire. And it threatened the town of Meeker at one point as well, but luckily the winds shifted and the fire was able to kind of be kept west of the Highway 13 corridor, and the town of Meeker was okay. But when we moved to the last half of the month, particularly in the last 10 days, we ended up seeing a surge of monsoonal moisture. In fact, even a little bit tropical enhanced moisture from the remnants of some tropical systems in the Pacific. And this unfortunately led to concerns for flash flooding and debris flows on these recent burn scars. And so not just the recent burn scar like the Lee fire, but also some of our slightly older ones from July. So the Deer Creek, Turner Gulch, South Rim, stuff like that. And we did actually end up seeing some flash flooding and debris flows, particularly from the Lee fire. The southern portion of the Lee fire around County Route 5 has turned out to be quite sensitive to precipitation over it, and we did see mud flows such as this one make its way out into the wider river and over roads. We had a tractor trailer actually get struck in a debris flow that went over County Road 5. So definitely it was a tale of fire and flood for the month of August. But moving into our temperatures, our highest high for the month of August was 104, which occurred in Canyonlands on the 21st. And our lowest high was 91, which occurred in Aspen on the 21st. And the vast majority of these actually occurred right around that 20th, 21st time frame, which is interesting because that is also like right before we started getting into that deeper moisture push, which by the 24th was really producing heavy rains across the area. Looking at our cooler temperatures, the time-wise a little more scattershot. Our coldest low was 35 in Craig on the 10th, and our warmest low was 52 in Canyonlands on the 30th. And you can see these temperatures are starting to look a little more fall-like, which I think we're all ready for. As far as precipitation is concerned, unfortunately, we did see the vast majority of our 10 climate sites come in with below normal precipitation for the month of August. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that the first half of the month was very dry. And when we do get this monsoonal moisture, it has a tendency to be spotty. It's not necessarily a widespread soaker the way that we might all wish it would be. The least precipitation here actually fell at Canyonlands with 0.15 inches, which is a little under half an inch below normal. And the most precipitation fell in Cortez, where they got just over 1.5 inches, which is actually pretty close to normal, being only 0.7 of an inch below normal. Meeker and Craig both managed to see above normal precipitation, slightly above normal, with Craig seeing just about 1/4 inch above normal and Meeker a little under 0.2 of an inch above normal for the month of August. Our drought update, actually surprisingly, this looked a lot worse the week before I grabbed this image. So this image is from the September 2nd update. If you had gone and looked at the August 26th update, there was a big patch of D4 exceptional drought up here, coincidentally where we saw those larger wildfires develop in the month of August. But we did also see that above normal precipitation in Meeker and Craig, which are both in this area as well, and that contributed to seeing that area of D4 being removed. But we did see significant worsening elsewhere, with pretty much almost all of our D1 moderate drought being completely replaced by D2 severe drought, with the exception of the Central Divide Mountains here in Gunnison County, and a tiny little bit in far western portions of eastern Colorado, but the rest of us are in severe to extreme drought. And as far as the drought tendency is concerned, that's not going to change. We're seeing drought persisting, so we're going to continue to see across the western slope drought of at least D1 moderate extent or greater. I would really like to say that we're not going to see that exceptional D4 drought redevelop. I can't make that promise. We've had a very dry year coming off of a underperforming winter last year. So, I mean, we just kind of have to take it as it comes and hope that we don't get worse again. As far as the September outlook is concerned from the Climate Prediction Center, they are very strongly favoring, well, not very strongly favoring, they are strongly favoring above normal temperatures for eastern Utah and western Colorado. So this is a 40 to 50% tendency across the area, with a slightly less less leaning towards it across the Four Corners, at a 33 to 40% tendency towards above normal temperatures. And Climate Prediction Center is favoring everybody for equal chances of above or below normal precipitation, at least as far as the western slope is concerned. So that's that for the month of August. I will see you all next month with the September update, and hopefully there'll be good news, but we'll just have to wait and see. And if you're interested, the seasonal summary has also gone up as we have finished meteorological summer as of September 1st, and we are now moving into meteorological fall. So we have the summer summary up to discuss what went on in June, July, and August. So go check that one out as well. And if you like written up summaries, there are links to those in the description of both of these videos. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.